actually worked. Okay, sick. We're live.
Nice.
Now we're live.
Oh, we're live?
Yep, that actually worked. I went from so I don't know if the stream is just going to be like ass for no reason, but I went from the Nvidia one to one of the other four options available, which is Quick Sync H.264. Don't know what that means. That's just fucking moon ruins at this point, but
If it makes you feel any better, I don't either.
like I understand what the encoder does. I just don't understand why is there multiple different versions.
I mean, hearing your voice on stream, it's oh, there's reverb on my voice.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I'm the omniscient narrator. Of course, my voice is echo. I don't know. Guess it's because mine.
Hmm. Oh, okay. Let me try this.
I'm watching the stream. Oh
Ah,
yeah.
I see, I see, I see.
What's up? Hello?
Okay. Say something?
Hello. Hello. One, two,
Is the
one, two.
reverb gone?
As far as I can tell, it's still there. It's fine.
Hmm.
I'll just be reverberating.
That's weird. My noise suppression should be like nuking that before it hits the mic.
It is what it is. It's nothing to worry about.
There we go.
Oh,
I think that did it,
all right.
but I gotta up myself now.
I will trust in what you say.
Okay, that should do a lot better.
All right. Uh, hello, one and all. I am Dean Arkon of Gaia Schematics, and I am here to teach Professor Genki about well, what's banned and what was banned in Magic the Gathering. So the way that this is going to work is I'm going to have a number of different rounds, starting with easier things, and then going into more difficult to detect differences. We're going to start easy, go to hard, and one of the things, one of the two cards presented in every single set is going to be either banned or restricted. Probably banned because Magic doesn't do a lot of restrictions. This means that it was banned or restricted in any format at any time. It might not be banned or restricted right now. Um, and when I say any format, I mean, let me pull up the list: Standard, Pioneer, Legacy, Vintage, Commander, or Pauper. While there are certainly banned and restricted lists for other formats, um, uh, I'm not going to be looking into those because some of them, it's a very weird or very niche format. For example, what is it? Uh, Leovold, I think. Leovold, Emissary of Trest. He was banned in Tiny Leaders. That doesn't really give you a great idea of what his power is for other formats.
Mhm.
Because Tiny Leaders was a mistake of a format, and yeah, I'll say it was a mistake of a format. I played it.
What is tiny
I
leaders?
found okay, so you know Commander.
Yeah.
At the time, Commander was basically known as the like 6 or 7 mana value plus format. It was
Mm-hmm.
it was where you would put all of the unusable mythics that cost
Mm-hmm.
like 6 to 7 mana, or up to like 10 plus. And so for a while, something being
Mm-hmm.
good in Commander was a bit of a meme, because the joke was that everything is good in Commander if you do the right thing to it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Tiny Leaders was the opposite. Tiny Leaders was your commander,
Yeah.
and every card in your deck needed to be mana value 3 or less.
Gotcha.
Um, additionally it was a 2v or 2v2. It was a 1v1 format, so two players.
Mm-hmm.
50 card deck, or rather 49 cards plus commander.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and 20 life. So basically it was, you can think of it as half commander.
Gotcha.
It was entirely solved by a single deck that unfortunately came out, or a single commander that unfortunately came out right when it was becoming a popular format.
Mm-hmm.
That being Alesha, Who Smiles at Death, because Alesha, Who Smiles at Death is a very good commander in that format specifically.
Gotcha.
And so I, for many years, had a Alesha, Who Smiles at Death Tiny Leaders deck, which was the best deck in the format because it was a solved format.
Gotcha.
Um, Leovold was good enough that he competed and broke the. It was basically, there's going to be one tier 1 deck and a bunch of tier 2 decks, or
Mm-hmm.
there's going to be a tier 0 deck.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of where that came in. Leovold was specifically made for Tiny Leaders, but came out about a year after Tiny Leaders was a relevant format.
Oof.
So that's the unfortunate thing.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, oh, additionally, at certain points throughout, I am going to throw the professor a curveball. That means that there's going to be a set of cards where both of them are completely unbanned, or both of them have been banned. Um, put your guesses as to which one the curveball is below, I guess, or in the chat. This isn't a
Yeah.
YouTube video.
Put your
Could be a
guesses
YouTube
in the
video.
comments below.
Put your guesses in the comments below. Make sure to smash that like button and hit the subscribe and the bell. Um, so shall we begin?
Yes. Let us.
So I'm going to send you these in direct messages.
All right. So this we were using giant growth as the a good example of oh lord. Okay. Start with the top one.
Yes.
All right. Open link.
Hopefully that will just bring you to the link of the image.
It did.
Good to see.
Oh, also for additional context, I'm still pretty new to Magic, so I thought this would be a pretty fun thing to do, given my 12 or so years of Yu-Gi-Oh experience and my 6-ish months of Magic experience so far.
Yeah.
All right. Expropriate. Okay. 7 blue blue, so 9.
Yeah.
Council's Dilemma. Oh boy, politics. Starting with you, each player votes for time or money. For each time vote, take an extra turn after this one. For each money vote, choose a permanent owned by that voter and gain control of it. Exile, expropriate. Jesus.
Yeah, so this This in a 4-player game is basically a you win the game card
Yeah.
because you get to choose time or money, and by you get to choose time or money, I mean you get one extra turn. And
Yeah. And ideally three
otherwise,
other permanents everybody else has.
the best case scenario for your opponents is that the person who casts this gets the best thing on your board.
Yeah.
That's the best case scenario. And then they get an extra turn after this one, so that 9 mana, that just stops you from casting it early. It doesn't really stop you from doing something after this.
Mm-hmm.
So you can fairly easily get that. And of course the extra turns, if they do choose money, or if they do choose time, sorry, then you get extra turns.
Yeah.
There are also a couple of cards that give you extra votes.
Oh.
So you can choose time, and then everyone else chooses money. And then you get 2 turns. But the thing is that this is from Conspiracy. And so it's
Ah.
not legal in any format that isn't Eternal.
Gotcha.
So the next card was legal in Standard. So you kind of got to weigh that against this.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Let's see. Um.
You haven't opened the other one yet.
Oh, I did. Time stretch.
It's you're showing Expro. Oh, there's Time Stretch. Okay.
Yeah. Um. So for
So
expropriate.
here's where I need to somewhat apologize in that these don't have the same use cases
Hmm.
because Time Stretch is an I win card in
Yeah.
Standard, and Expropriate is an I win card in Commander.
Mm-hmm.
And so while Time Stretch is a worse Expropriate in Commander, Time Stretch saw Standard. So do you think that Time Stretch in Standard is better than Expropriate in Commander? Or, well, another Eternal format?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
So I think this probably. I think this got banned in Commander.
You are correct. Technically, Oathbreaker, which is just a variant of Commander,
Mm.
where you have the reason why it's Oathbreaker instead of Commander is Oathbreaker. You get to choose a sorcery or an instant to also have in your command zone
Hmm.
as a signature spell, which makes this absolutely brutal.
Oh
Otherwise, if
yeah.
you wanted to cast this, you would need to have tutor spells, something like that. But yes, this is in fact just a I win the game card,
Yeah.
and if you have an I win the game card in your command zone, well, you tend to win the game a lot.
Yeah. Understandable.
Time stretch. So the thing is, both of these cards are really good, but
Hmm.
you will never get to cast time stretch in standard unless it is the slowest standard
Yeah.
format
That's
there is.
that's 10 mana. That's a lot
It's 10 mana.
for a
There
standard
have
game. Yeah.
there have been standard formats where there have been good enough uh blue black or blue white control decks that
Hmm.
they can cast this, but they would much rather be casting a massive evasive attacker for this much mana than something that gets them 2 extra turns, because a lot of the time you aren't actually using those all your mana on those 2 extra turns. You're winning by fractions, not by
Mm-hmm.
whole numbers, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
So that's one for you, and
Hell yeah.
that's one for you out of one question. This is the second set, and these are far closer.
Ooh. Okay.
This is probably the most difficult of the 3 ones that I'm considering a bit easier.
Oh, nope. Open link. All right. Let's read them off. Trading grounds. Blue activated ability as a creature you control costs 2 less to activate. This effect can't reduce the mana, and that costs less than 1. And Fluctuator for 2 cycling abilities you activate cost up to 2 less to activate. Oh, interesting.
So, Training Grounds is something that could be released in basically any set.
Mm.
If you put it into any set, its name works basically anywhere. Its
Mm.
ability works basically anywhere. Fluctuator obviously needs to be put into a set with cycling, but there's a
Yeah.
lot of cycling nowadays.
Yeah.
Um, it was, however, released when cycling first was debuted as a set, as a mechanic.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Let's see.
So, tell me what you're thinking.
So, I mean, I know that there could be a lot of things that could make use of that. Going down to 1. It's very cheap, very searchable. But I don't know if it's good.
Okay.
Like I can see how this could be used. The problem is I do not know enough cards that could absolutely just break this by just going, all right, I pay 1, blow this up. I pay 1, blow this up. Untap, tap, untap, tap. That kind of bullshit. I'm sure there
Yeah.
is, but I don't know if Trading Ground is the reason or the card that is abusing Trading Ground being the real reason. Like
Okay.
I don't know if the enabler is worse than the problem for
Fair enough.
this specific case. So for Training Grounds,
Mhm.
I'm going to say it has not been banned anywhere.
Okay, but here's the question. Why do you think Fluctuator is banned instead?
Because so Training Grounds says it can't be reduced to anything less than 1, but Fluctuator doesn't say that.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, going to 0 more powerful than uh minimum 1 effects to me.
You are correct.
Hey, let's go.
So the thing about Fluctuator is that what cycling does is cycling lets you discard a card to draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
And in the set this was in, cycling didn't have a specific cost. Cycling was always 2 generic mana.
Ah,
So this turned every cycling card in your deck into instant speed, discard this card, draw a card. This card, if you had the deck set up correctly, basically reduced the number of cards you needed in your deck and just restricted them to being cycling cards.
Which, I mean, if this was introduced in the set, not hard.
Yes. So, especially because it's colorless, it can go into any deck.
Yeah.
Training Grounds, while it is a strong card, I don't want to I don't
Yeah.
want to make that I don't want to obscure that. It is a very strong card.
Oh, for sure.
Um Training Grounds is just not not of the same level because you do still need to pay that one.
Yeah. And
And also,
anytime I see something that doesn't have like that second line of text of this can't reduce effect can't reduce the mana to less than one, what to cards that just don't, I'd rather run the cards that don't, because why would I restrict myself?
yeah.
Why would I
All right.
voluntarily choose to pay more when I have something that can make me pay nothing?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, 2 for 2,
Okay.
baby. Let's go.
We're two for two.
Can't wait to go 2 and 18 though. Let's go.
Well, you get your last easy one. These are two cards released in the same set. They're one is an instant, one is a sorcery. This is consider it your final test before I t- take off the kid gloves.
Hell yeah. All right. Violent Outburst. 1 red green instant cascade. Creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. So basically, anything that's 2 or less, you can cascade into.
Yes, you can.
And then Demonic Dread. 1 black red sorcery, also with cascade for something that's 2 and less. Target creature can't block. Hmm. So, let's see. Man, Cascade is it's just good. It's such a cool fucking thing.
Yeah.
Also, this art does kind of go hard in Demonic Dread, to be honest. So this is all
Oh yeah.
creatures. This is just target creature. Okay. Plus, this is an instant. Hmm. I'd probably say Violent Outburst is better
Why do you think that?
comparatively. Mainly because it's an instant, I'd think. That's the big thing. Because you could just play this whenever, like on your opponent's turn. But this one is probably more just straight aggressive, which, I mean, fair, Rakdos, so.
Yeah. Well, Rakdos is always going to be a bit more aggressive than well, actually they're about at equal
True.
in aggression.
Yeah. Um, yeah, this is actually kind of hard. I'm gonna say Violent Outburst was banned.
Violent Outburst. Give me just a sec.
Problem is I
Getting ready the
don't
I'm getting
know.
ready the next one.
The problem is I don't know what format it would have been banned in.
Well, if you want to get I guess we'll call them kudos bonus points,
Mm-hmm.
brownie points. That one
Fair.
you could guess.
I'm gonna say it was. I know. I'm gonna say this was banned, but it was banned in standard specifically.
Well, I have some bad news for you. It was banned, and by was I mean is banned, in Modern only a few
Ah.
months ago.
Oh.
See, here's the thing. This is an instant with Cascade.
Yeah.
That's all it needs.
Yeah.
The rest of the text doesn't matter. Even the colors don't matter. This is an instant with Cascade. That's all that matters. And
Hell yeah.
Modern has a lot more two drops
Yeah.
that you might want to get
True.
than standard. Now, granted, it
Hmm.
might have been banned in standard. I'm not quite positive, but it was certainly um it was certainly not to the point of getting banned in standard, or at least I wouldn't think so, because
Mm.
they kind of made sure that it wouldn't be.
Gotcha.
Okay. So now we're going to go from low mana to high mana.
Hooray.
So, you got yourself
Oh,
two
fuck up, Nicholas.
demons.
Jesus.
You got yourself two demons.
Oh, all right. What the hell? Why is it not letting me? There we go.
Oh,
It was for some reason not letting me open up Ob Nixilis for some reason. All right, Ob Nixilis and Grizzlebrand. Bro, I have Ob Nixilis in the Athros God of the IRS deck.
oh yeah,
However, I don't know. I didn't check his legality. I just know that I was allowed to put him in Commander. So, I
fair
know
enough.
I know he's not banned in Commander
He is,
currently.
I will say, not banned in Commander. I'm just going to give you an easy time and just say, just consider that middle ability. You don't need to worry about the top or the bottom.
Yeah, I
Just
know.
consider
It's
that
so
middle ability.
it's so good. It's just so good. It's it's
So,
so dumb.
let's read them off.
All right, yeah. So
So,
Ob Nixilis, Unshackled, 4 black, legendary creature, demon, flying, trample. Whenever an opponent searches their library, that player sacks a creature and loses 10 life. Whenever another creature dies, put a 1/1 on Ob Nixilis. And Grizzlebrand, 4 black, for another legendary demon with flying, lifelink, pay 7, draw 7. Interesting. Let's see. Hmm. Let's see. Obnixilus is just so good. I could see how this could. I know how he can be abused. I have a deck that specifically is enabled to abuse him, but
yep.
Grizzlebrand, like even in the same exact spot where you can abuse Obnixilus, I don't think Grizzlebrand. Like I think he is good as an option. I just don't think he is like 7 life, draw 7. Like that's good. That is good. But like if you're not cheating him out, like you're already paying 8. Like what the fuck are you gonna do with those 7 cards anyways?
Yeah.
So it's like I think Obnixilus was banned because it's like, well, if you're playing in a format that doesn't have 40 life like Commander, like he fucks you extra hard.
Fair enough.
So I think Obnixilus was banned
All right.
Probably in eternal format.
So, Ob Nixilis was never banned.
Oh shit.
And the thing is that Ob Nixilis actually came out when Shocklands were in Standard. Not Shocklands, Fetchlands were in Standard.
Oh shit.
Ob Nixilis just was too slow to be in the decks that would most want him.
Gotcha.
A lot of people tried to use him in the first couple of weeks, but he unfortunately could not cut it at those top levels.
Gotcha.
And let me just grab. Where is it? Okay. Give me just a sec to grab this one.
Was Grizzlebrand also
Grizzlebrand is banned in Commander.
Oh shit.
So the thing is, look at that type line. Look at the type line on Grizzlebrand.
The type line?
Yeah, the type line, the middle line.
Pay 7
This is
life.
what type of. No, the type
Oh,
line.
sorry.
Legendary creature dash demon.
Yeah.
Do you notice something about that? Grizzlebrand can be your commander in a format with 40 life.
Fuck. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I see. I see the play now.
So I got him once.
I've never heard of a fucking band commander. That's kind of funny.
So originally, here's some Magic lore for you. Originally, um, there was a group of cards that were just banned as commanders.
Oh.
Grizzlebrand, Emrakul, Rathalos, and Berate. These aren't going to be on the test. Were banned as commanders, and then they eventually decided we're just going to unite the list so that it's not banned as commander and normal banned.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think that they should bring back banned as commander
That's a cool concept.
because honestly, it's I think that it works well enough with that, but I was not asked. So, here are your next two.
All right, let me.
You're at 3 and 1.
3 and 1. Not bad.
Nope.
All right. Stagger Shock. 2 in a red. Instant. Stagger Shock deals 2 damage to any target. Rebound. Oh, fun. Punishing Fire. 1 in a red. Instant. Punishing Fire deals 2 damage to target creature or player. Whenever.
That at this point, just to note, that at this point is to any target.
Gotcha. Whenever an opponent gains life, you may pay red. If you do, return it from grave to hand. Ah.
So you have 2 shocks, as in a card that
Mm-hmm.
it deals 2 damage to anything. It's instant. However, one of them costs 1 more, but is recast for free. The other one requires your opponent to gain life, and also costs an extra for you to recast it. These both can, hit twice. Punching Fire can hit more times, but it does cost more mana, and your opponent needs to gain life.
Rebound is so fucking stupid.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
3 mana for 2 damage and rebound, so you're recasting it for free. Problem is, I don't know if that's enough. But this is so conditional. Wait, ain't there ways to make your opponent also gain life?
I mean, there are, but they usually are not They're very there
Aren't enough.
I guess the question is, do you think that there are enough ways for your opponent to gain life, to force your opponent to gain life, that this would be a viable thing?
Right. That's what I'm trying to decide on. Hmm. Oh, that's tough. I think I don't think either of these are banned.
You think that this is the wild card?
I don't think either of these are banned, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was something wacky that made punishing fire get banned.
All
But
right.
like also rebound is just a really strong thing anyways, so stagger shock also wouldn't surprise me.
So, your final answer is neither are banned?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I would like you to go to your Scryfall tab and search Grove of the Burn Willows.
Oh shit. Grove of the burn.
Yeah, so back in yeah.
I
So
knew it.
this one is kind of a gotcha, and I will apologize a bit. Back in Future Sight, they did a cycle of 5 lands that would be it was a cycle of 5 lands that were like the kind of the primer for um a full cycle of their own 5 lands.
Mm-hmm.
Each one had a different effect. So that's where you get things like what is it? Like Poison River, or the one that I think it's River of Tears, Nimbus Maze or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
Horizon Canopy, Grove of the Burn Willows, and Graven Cairn. They're all allied color dual
Mm-hmm.
lands, but they each have a unique effect. Grove of the Burn Willows is a take on is an interesting take on pain lands. Normally, with a pain land, you can tap it to add a colorless, or you can tap and add one of two colors
And it
and lose
deals
a life.
damage, yeah.
This is the opposite. This lets
Gotcha.
each opponent gain life. This card alone is the reason why Punishing Fire is banned. They probably could have banned either of these, but Grove of the Burn Willows is a less impactful card, all
Mm-hmm.
in all. And it kind of plays nicely with a lot of ways that Red has to stop itself from, or to stop opponents from gaining life.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, I already have that entered. So these two cards are from the same cycle.
All right. Ooh, suspend. All right. First one up, Living End, suspend 3 for 2 black black. Each
If you
player
want, I can simplify this text.
uh
Um,
the for Living
just
End.
because, yeah, just because it's a weird thing. Um, Basically, you swap the cards in your you swap the creatures in your graveyard for the creatures on the battlefield.
Oh,
That's the simple version of what this says.
gotcha.
It's complicated because obviously, if you sacrifice everything first, then then you would just bring everything back up, and if you bring everything back
Mm-hmm.
up, then you would sacrifice everything. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so what it's basically saying is move your cards in your graveyard to exile, sacrifice all your creatures, move the cards exiled this way onto the battlefield, and
Gotcha.
that's what it's saying. The second one is a lot simpler.
Gotcha. Like this dude with the flower on his fucking head.
Yeah.
All right, Ancestral Vision, suspend 4 for 1 blue. Target player draws 3.
Mhm.
Isn't there like another card named Ancestral something?
Yes. So what these two cards are is they're part of the same cycle. The entire cycle is
Hmm.
taking historically broken cards, as in all 5 cards from this cycle are references to 5 cards that could be on this test. Um, and but they can't be cast normally. You have to suspend them.
Gotcha. Hmm. Let's see. I feel like Living End could be just more impactful, but I don't know if it was impactful enough to be banned. Like drawing 3 cards after what, 5 turns?
If you cast it on turn 1, it would resolve turn 5.
Yeah. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's like some sort of like weird blue mill strategy that uses
Yeah.
this to like kill you slowly for the lulls. Or like target player, I don't know, draws or discards double of what something else does. So you can make people deck out. Now that I said that, I feel like this might actually be the one that might have been banned. But this is just kind of funny.
Hey, you're what? I think uh 3-2.
3 to 2, yeah. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Ancestral Vision.
Social Vision was banned.
I'm gonna say that one was banned.
All right. 4-2.
Let's go.
So, the thing is, drawing 3 cards for 1 mana is just really good.
Yeah. Even if you gotta wait
I
on
need
it.
to. So back in 2016,
Oh god.
uh, Ancestral Vision got unbanned, meaning it was banned before that. The reason why is mostly Cascade. You'll notice
Mm,
Cascade is an issue.
yeah.
As it turns out, when you have the ability to just engineer a deck around never casting anything that isn't, a specific thing that you want, you can have some really degenerate stuff. I actually have this in my Sliver deck because my Sliver deck has cards with Cascade, and if I have a 1-drop with Cascade, I can guarantee that I draw 3 cards for free.
Oh, because you don't need to wait to
You don't
suspend.
No, that's the big thing is that
Oh fuck.
so say you have Violent Outburst and you
Oh
don't have anything that
fuck.
costs and you don't have anything that costs 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
You've just guaranteed you spent 3 mana to draw 3 cards at instant speed. However, obviously, it was unbanned in 2016, so it's uh it's a bit a ways. So we're gonna go to the next two. How do you feel about not being able to cast spells?
Oh boy. My favorite.
How do you feel about counter spells?
Oh boy, my favorite. Oh, An Offer You Can't Refuse is one of my fucking favorite cards.
Fair enough. So, an offer
Hmm.
you can't refuse is 1 mana for one blue mana for an instant. Counter a non-creature spell, and its controller makes 2 treasures.
And Mental Misstep.
Mental
One
Misstep
blue
is
Phyrexian.
1 Phyrexian blue mana, so that's either 1 blue or 2 life for an instant. Counter target spell with converted mana cost exactly 1.
Interesting. Hmm. See, I don't know. I have no context for the landscape of the game for Mental Misstep. So like, I don't know if it being one is just really good regardless. But If You Can't Refuse is just so good. Like, yeah, you do give the opponent 2 treasures, but stopping them for very cheap is still just good. So I don't know if a I don't know if stopping a turn 1 thing is better than stopping something just kind of period.
Fair enough.
I mean, to be fair, Mental Misstep could literally counter An Offer You Can't Refuse, which is kind of fucking hilarious.
Yes.
I'm going to say An Offer You Can't Refuse was banned somewhere. Like, I know it's not
What
banned in
form?
Commander.
What format do you think it was banned in?
Hmm. See, I don't know enough about like, modern and vintage to be like, oh yeah, this is
Fair enough.
clearly a eternal
But
format breaker.
do you
But
feel like it was probably banned in
I'm
one
gonna
of those?
say I'm gonna say it's either one of those, but like maybe standard too at some
Okay.
point. I think Mental Misstep is very good. I don't know if it was like game breakingly bad in like what 2011.
Fair enough. Um, I mean, yeah, that's probably when it came out.
Well,
All right.
that's what the
Yeah, that's
copyright
what
in
it
the
says on
card
the bottom.
says.
Yeah. Both of them, have only been printed in their first printing.
Oh, geez. Okay,
So 4 for 3.
fair.
Here's the important thing: mental misstep. This can be run in any deck. This does not cost blue. This costs 2 life.
2 life, right? Okay.
That's that's the issue with
Yeah.
it.
See, I saw the blue bandit symbol. I'm like, oh yeah, you can't run that if you're not playing blue.
You indeed can.
Really?
All right. Yes. Well, you can't in Commander, but in Modern, Legacy, and Vintage,
Right.
where a good proportion of the cards will have converted mana cost 1,
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
suddenly this becomes you play 4 of this card, and you tell your opponent, I will take 2 damage instead of you having that thing that's going to win you the game.
Gotcha. I see. That makes sense.
So, next up, we have a pair of 2 lands.
Oh, lands.
Yes.
Interesting.
There's banding and then there's landing. Both of these are actually going to be uh Ramanop Ruins was just reprinted like a week ago,
Yeah, I saw the
and
desert. Didn't
Bloodstained
they replete
Mire
all those? Replete,
and
reprint.
Bloodstained Mire, yeah, most of them at least. Bloodstained Mire is getting printed in a few months. That's the art from Modern Horizons 3.
Gotcha.
So I will give you a freebie. Neither
It's.
of these are banned in Modern.
Yeah, I was about to say, man, it would be kind of weird if they printed that in a modern set.
Yeah, no. Bloodstained Mire at the very least isn't banned in Modern. I will also tell you, Ramunap Ruins is also not banned in Modern.
Hmm. So Ramanat Ruins, the land is a desert. Tap, add
Mhm.
colorless. Tap, pay 1 life. Add red. And 2 red. Tap it, sack it. No, sack a
Sack a
desert.
desert.
And then this does 2 damage to each opponent.
Yep.
Oh, a desert.
Yes.
Interesting.
Which could be this. It could be another
Mm-hmm.
version of this. It could be just a desert that you have that isn't that.
Mm-hmm.
But it needs to be a desert. The gimmick for deserts is that they like to be in the graveyard and often also like to come back from the graveyard.
Yeah. Because I know deserts are kind of wacky like that.
Mhm.
And Bloodstained
That's
Mire,
the
tap,
desert identity.
gotcha. Tap,
Mhm.
pay a life, sack it, search your library for a swamp or mountain card, put it on the field, shuffle.
Mhm.
I'm gonna. I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm gonna go with my gut. First one, I think I'm gonna say Ramanop Ruins was banned.
Why do you think Ramanop?
I mean, unless I am not able to think of a land that is a swamp or mountain card that could break things, I don't understand why they would ban like a land search card instead of a the land that might be the issue itself. But this just says a desert, and desert's whole thing is wanting to go to grave, come back. This just kind of fuels the machine a lot easier, I think, than whatever Bloodstained Mire could theoretically cause. Unless they decide to ban the problem, the thing that searched the problem, and then the whole fucking bloodline. But
So,
I think the desert.
the desert? Okay. This was a trick.
Oh shit.
Both are banned or have been banned.
Oh shit. Okay.
So, you did correctly identify Ramanop Ruins was actually part of the problem. Back during Amonkhet block, there was a
Mm-hmm.
mono red, like a $60 hyper aggressive deck that ran 4 Ramanop Ruins,
Red deck
4
wins.
Goblin Chain Whirlers,
Yes.
a bunch of other cheap red nonsense, and then it ran like 2 copies of Hazaret, Hazaret the Fervent. Um, Ramanop Ruins died for the sins of Hazaret. I need you to realize this was like a big controversy. Not a controversy. This was a complaint that people had, me to an extent included, um, with uh, with how Wizards banned stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Ramanop Ruins was banned in Standard, and then Bloodstained Mire, just because it fetch lands. This is representative of a cycle.
Hmm.
Bloodstained Mire and the rest of its cycle were the only fetch lands in Pioneer that were legal in Pioneer, that are legal
Oh,
in Pioneer. So they just got banned because they want to slow the format down.
gotcha.
And that's kind of it. So this one is going to be a bit more complicated, and then, well, you'll see from there. These two. I'm gonna start giving you two things that don't quite line up super well from now on.
Gotcha, gotcha. All right. Let's start with Deadeye Navigator. 4 blue blue, creature spirit with soul bond. Okay.
Soul Bond is important, just so you know.
Yeah. As long as Deadeye Navigator is paired, each of those creatures has 1 blue exile. Oh, so blink. Got it. Okay.
Each of them can
And
blink, and then after they blink, they don't technically need to bond, but they
gotcha.
generally do.
Oh, you don't tap them.
No. Well, it would come back untapped anyways, wouldn't it?
Oh shit, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. All right. Zera Arian?
Zira Aren.
Aren.
Oh,
Black.
Arian. Yes, sorry. I thought it was just,
Gotcha.
yeah. However you pronounce it, don't worry about it.
Uh so black, red, green, insect wizard, legendary creature with flying, black for her color identity, tap, and target player draws a card. I know how much bullshit blinking can do. And Soulbond seems very, very interesting and fairly abusable. Because when you put them back on the field, they don't. Deadeye doesn't have to go to the same creature you put it with originally, right?
It needs to go to, if you want to swap Deadeye out for something that's already on the field, you need to blink Deadeye and then soul bond it to another creature.
Gotcha. Regardless, that seems very abusable. This one, I'm not like I don't know if I'm being tripped up because lots of words mean better, and this is secretly like cracked. But like, why? Like, I've never done any insect decks, so I don't understand if this would be good in that kind of thing. Target player draws a card. Okay. But like, I'm pretty sure that those colors could interact real fucky with that kind of stuff anyways. But just if you have the mana, as many ETBs as you fucking want. I think I'm gonna go with the ETB spam ghost over here. Deadeye Navigator. I think that was banned. Or
What do you
is
think it's banned
banned.
in? What do you
I
think it got banned in?
if it got banned in standard, damn homie's been a problem since the start. But I'd probably say in eternal format it got banned in because
Okay.
they just have more card pool that could like make use of the abuse.
So, the thing about Den is that Den has been a something that we've kind of had to worry about since he got created.
Jeez.
specifically in Commander.
Yeah.
However, please go to the other card.
Oh shit.
Here's the thing. You see how she's legendary?
Oh yeah, those are some good colors.
Those are some good colors. Yeah, that's not what matters. It's the fact that she's legendary. Zira Arian is from the set Legends. She just got reprinted.
Mm-hmm.
Zira Arian is a legendary creature from the set Legends. And
Mm-hmm.
this is another one where I kind of forced you to get it wrong. Because Zira Arian,
Gotcha.
like all other legends from the set Legends, was restricted up until the
Oh.
legend rule changed. The legend rule was originally every legendary creature or every legendary card is a forced one of at most. Hence, technically, retroactively, it was these cards were restricted.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not going to include any other legends from Legends, but
That's
that's the thing.
interesting.
Now there have been people campaigning for Deadeye Navigator to get banned from Commander for years.
Yeah, like copyright
Um,
2017. He's been a problem since the fucking
oh,
word go.
that's from Modern Masters 3.
Oh, so
He
he's
was
even four.
originally from 2012.
Oh, so he's been a problem for over a
He's been a
decade.
problem for over a decade. He's become less of a problem, but it used to be one of the most powerful things you could do in Commander was just ETB spam, and Deadeye Navigator is the best ETB spammer. And also,
Hmm.
if he's soul bonded and you have 2 mana up, he can't be killed by targeted removal.
Yeah, because you could just blink
Because
him.
you target him, you blink him, or you blink what he's soul bonded with, and then they basically need to have 2 pieces of removal to kill your one guy.
But then if you have 4 mana, it just spirals.
Yeah.
So he's a god and effectively immortal once you put him on the field.
Once he gets on the battlefield, as long as you use your mana well, he will not. He will only leave the battlefield when he chooses to.
Yeah, so he's a problem.
He is he is he's honestly less of a problem. It's more that he is it's more that he's
Easily abusable slash breakable.
it's easy to find ways to get to do a lot of shenanigans with him.
Yeah, that's actually
Um
fascinating. I didn't realize that's what the legend rule meant.
so originally the legend rule was you could only have one copy of that in your deck. That changed. Then the legend we're going into a bit of a history lesson. Then the legend rule was if there is one on the battlefield, no player can cast that card with no player can cast a card with the same name, even if they have it in hand. It's just straight up prevents you from casting it. Then it became a really weird, interesting thing of being if there's one on the battlefield and
Mm-hmm.
another player casts another copy of the same thing with the same name,
Mm-hmm.
or for planeswalkers because they basically use the same rule, the same or a planeswalker of the same type. If one of them sees the other, they both sacrifice each other.
Gotcha.
They both kill each other. So suddenly, the best legendary creatures and planeswalkers also doubled as removal spells for the best legendary creatures and planeswalkers, which
Oh.
meant that for a very short while there was and by very short I mean like about 8 years, there were a few metas where people who were in the same colors but not in the same deck, but not running the same deck,
Mm-hmm.
would still run an unoptimal an unoptimal for them planeswalker or legendary creature in the main board or in the sideboard,
Just because it
just to
fucks
serve as
someone.
basically to serve as counterplay.
Gotcha.
Like I remember that it changed around Theros block, or I remember it being a thing around Theros block where people would like blue white decks that were just control decks and didn't even use or white decks that were like aggro decks in order to counter control decks that did use it. They would have like a couple copies of Elspeth, Sun's Champion,
Gotcha.
because she was such a good card in their deck that they needed basically a specific removal spell. And this was back when there were a grand total of 2 cards that could specifically destroy a planeswalker and weren't just damage cards.
Gotcha.
Nowadays it's been a lot more relaxed where a player cannot have 2 legendary creatures with the same name on the battlefield.
Mhm.
If you have both on, you must choose which one stays, but 2 players can have 2 legendary creatures with the same name. 2 players can have 2 planeswalkers of the same type. Planeswalker, there's no more planeswalker rule, it's now just a legendary rule.
And now there's a bunch of cards that state like copy it. If the spell was legendary, it is not.
Yeah, which is also that's a design issue that Wizards of the Coast has gotten themselves into.
And isn't there like that artifact that basically says the legend of rule does not apply to you anyways?
Yes. There's actually a really interesting video by a guy called Ristic
I
Studies,
love Ristic
formerly of
Studies.
Fan Sam, who yeah, he did a whole video on the shrinking of that card. It's either Mirror Box or Mirror Gallery. I think it's Mirror Gallery.
Gotcha.
But all right. Why have I been messaged directly? Oh, well, that's not important right now.
What are we, 4 for 4?
I believe either 4 for 4 or 4 for 5.
I think probably 4 for 5. Because I know like the last 3 I've gotten wrong. All right. We have Upheaval and Poison the Well. All right, Upheaval. 4 blue blue. Sorcery. Return all permanents to their owner's hands. Simple. Uh, and then we have Poison the Well. 2 black or red, black or red. Destroy target land. Poison the Well deals 2 damage to that land's controller. Okay. I mean, I know that's good for countering like fucking what's Cabal Coffers, the one that lets you draw for every swamp you have or get mana for every swamp you have, like Yawgmoth's tomb that makes everything swamps. I know that could be good getting rid of that type of shit. Upheaval though. The calm comes after the storm. Turn all permanents to the owner's hands, and then you could just reuse your own shit if you had the mana for it.
Of course. I will note that does include lands.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay. That seems really good. You just nuke the fucking game state.
Yep.
That seems really good. But then it's probably like, oh no, it's actually Poison the Well.
Well, I guess the question is, do you think that I'm gonna constantly give you gotchas? Or do you think I'm gonna make it
No.
a bit difficult? Or am I just tricking you right now?
See, it's probably all 3. to be
All
honest.
three?
Yeah, that's how you act. That's you.
Yeah, that is kind of true. You aren't, you aren't wrong. I'd be offended if you were, but I
Oh
do
man.
perform that every once in a while.
Let's see. Oh hey Bumblebee, how you doing?
Hey, Bumblebee.
Ah,
I don't know. Oh, wait, no, I know why. I heard that like 2 days ago.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say so this seems like I think upheaval is good, but I think it is I don't I think it's good. However, I also think it is so infuriating. I can see why people would want this banned and would straight up campaign for this card to be banned.
So you think it's upheaval?
So I think it's poison the well. No, I'm thinking. The thing is, I don't know if Wizards would give a fuck enough to actually ban upheaval.
Well, do remember that there is a specific other group, the Commander Rules Committee, who also
True.
are in charge to an extent of banning stuff in Commander.
I would not be surprised if upheaval's actually banned in Commander, to be honest. Because it just kind of seems like this, like, this is like okay, poison the well. It's 4 mana, and you destroy a land. Upheaval is you could literally just say it destroys all fucking lands because like, oop, there goes your mana base. Like,
Also, do remember that there's a hand size limit.
yeah. So like, if you have a bunch of shit, like, a bunch of lands, like you're kind of fucked.
Yeah.
So I think upheaval is anti fun enough to have been banned somewhere.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
You're correct.
Okay. Let's go.
Poison the Well. I just clicked random card until I saw something that looked like it might be enough to trick you a little bit.
Fair.
No, Upheaval is absolutely anti-fun because Upheaval resets the entire board state to 0 except for the person who's casting it.
Yeah.
So it's somewhere between one of the things that is the most rule zeroed, it's called in Commander, that is the most rule zeroed out in the entire game is MLD, Mass Land Destruction.
Yeah. It's cringe.
So while Armageddon is a card that is legal in Commander technically, but a lot of people wish it wasn't. Um, Mass Land Destruction as a whole is very annoying because it basically just resets the game to
Yeah.
0. It's like you're saying, "Oh yeah, this entire game just hasn't happened for the last who knows how many minutes."
Oh man, I
Upheaval is
love
the
playing a game
same.
for 40 minutes and getting
Yeah.
upheavaled.
Upheaval is basically the exact same thing, but to a much bigger scale because Mass Land Destruction, you can still win after casting Armageddon. Like, if you have the enchantments you need, you can still win after casting Armageddon. If you have the creatures you need, you can still win after casting Armageddon. Upheaval basically says nothing anyone did, including usually the person who cast it, um, has mattered.
Yeah, it's
Poison the
it's
Well is just it's an annoying card. It's a card that could be used in decks that want to target land destruction in like modern or something.
mm-hmm.
But it's just
Okay.
It's just a mixture of a stone rain and a shock, basically.
Hmm.
It's not to the same level
Yeah.
as it's not to the same level as upheaval. Upheaval ruins entire games,
Yeah, it's
like
legit anti-fun.
big games, whereas yeah, it's anti-fun. That's about correct. All righty. Here are your next two.
Oh boy. So I'm 5 for 5 now.
You are 4 for 5.
4 for 5. Got it.
Oh no, sorry. Yes, you are 5 for 5. You got it correct.
Nice. Okay, so voltaic,
Voltaic key.
voltaic key. For one, it's an artifact. One, tap it, and then you untap target artifact. Okay, I can see that's very abusable. Dragon's Claw. Two, it's also an artifact. Whenever a player casts a red spell, you may gain 1 life. Also abusable. Hmm. Oh man. Target artifact, including creatures, lands, etc.
Hmm.
Okay. That sounds way more usable than just cast red, gain life. But there's probably some like real wacky bullshit red could do. Hmm. I'm trying to think what would make the most sense for being banned. Like if a player casts a white spell, gain 1 life, I would probably be like, oh yeah, I know so much bullshit, like Felidar Sovereign, shit like that. Red, I don't know if there's like a Felidar equivalent,
Well,
especially
here's the thing.
back
Re- Reread the sentence.
whenever a player casts a red spell, you may gain 1 life.
Well, you passed it.
Gotcha.
Whenever a player,
A player. So
not
anybody.
you, anyone.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Hmm. But is there like some red shit that could interact with this? Like specifically when you gain a life? Like I know we had the hammer where it was an opponent gaining
Yeah,
life.
punishing fire.
Yeah. So I don't know if there's like a punishing fire equivalent where like if you gain life, pay spam type thing. But I know Voltaic Key can be like insanely abusable. Just straight up. Cause like this came back in like what it says copyright says 2010, so were artifacts were artifacts cracked as hell to the point where this is like hilariously broken. I assumed this dragon thing came out like when Constantar Key were like doing their thing, right?
Uh, it was 2011 is when this was printed.
Gotcha. I'm going to say I'm going to say it was Dragon's Claw.
Are you sure?
but I know how I could abuse Voltaic Key though, which is funny.
So I guess here's my question. Are you choosing Dragon's Claw because you don't know how you'd abuse it, or are you choosing Dragon's Claw because you think
I think Dragon's Claw could be, if there is some sort of weird life gain thing that happened in like 2011 for red specifically. But this is a colorless thing, so if I'm playing against someone who's playing red, I could fuck them over if I'm playing like white. And okay, I think Dragon's Claw.
okay, five for
After
five.
damn,
So here's the thing,
5 for 6.
5 for 6.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Voltaic Key, while it was printed in 2010, it was originally printed before then.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot more ways to tap or to untap artifacts and abuse that. Like you said, you know how you could abuse that.
Yeah.
Dragon's Claw was meta. It was specifically it was meta against red decks that
Mm-hmm.
were good at the time. Because think about it, if every single time you cast a burn spell, that burn spell is doing one less,
Yeah.
or every time someone casts a creature, they basically have one less power the first time they go through.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to drastically slow down the game plan of a red deck.
Mm-hmm.
It was for a long time just kind of tech, especially it was tech against the mirror, where if you were playing red deck wins and your opponent was playing red deck wins, play a Dragon's Claw, and you
Gotcha.
definitely will win because
You're gaining two
everyone's going to be
life.
casting a bunch of everyone's going to be casting a bunch of red spells, but you're the one who's going to be taking less damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So what
you
was
were
Voltaic Key banned in?
standard. It was from Urza's block.
Ah,
Basically, um, here's a slight secret. If it's from Urza's block, it was probably banned.
gotcha.
Now, granted, I don't know. Now, granted, some of them obviously have been reprinted, and I'm just taking the most recent printing or whichever one pops up first on Scryfall.
Mm-hmm.
But um, if you do see Urza's block, it's probably that one.
Gotcha.
So your next one are these two.
All right. Oh boy. Flip sides.
Oh yes, apologies about the flip, but
Mentor the Meek. Ain't that card like really fucking good?
card is very good.
All right. First up, we have Arayo Soratami Ascendant. For 1 and a blue, flying. Whenever the fourth spell of a turn is played, you flip her. She's a legendary creature, Moonfolk Monk, and I'm not fucking breaking my neck for this, bro.
Do you want me to tell you what it is?
Yeah, please.
Counter the first spell played or cast by each opponent each turn.
Oh, interesting.
The name of it is Araya's Essence.
Gotcha. Okay. I have Mentor the Meek, 2 and a white. Creature, human soldier. Whenever another creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 1. If you do, draw. Homie is just kind of good.
Yeah, a little bit.
But what is he banned good? Hmm. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Since what's its name? What's the fucking name of that card? Hold on. Mental Misstep.
Mm-hmm.
Since that was really good,
Yes.
I'm going. So that was like really good. You said it was modern.
It's banned in Modern. It might also be banned in Eternal.
Gotcha. Um, Going off of that one being banned,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there could be a theme of things that interact with low-powered cards in Eternal formats being bannable
Really good.
good.
Fair enough.
That's why I'm leaning towards Mentor, but like Jesus Christ, dude, being able to fucking it ain't hard. It is not
No,
hard to
especially
get.
not in blue.
It is not hard at all. Easy, laughable, even
Yes.
for free. Granted,
I mean, if it's free, then
like granted, there's also the whole like I mean, being forced to play like this is just a quintessential floodgate to me,
yes.
and everyone hates floodgates. That is a universal card game thing. Everyone hates floodgates.
Yes.
So I don't know if guy I already know is really fucking good is slightly not as good as just a floodgate. I'm going to say it's probably the floodgate
Gonna say
because
it's a Ryo.
I think it's a Ryo because that's laughably easy to do.
I will tell you, you are correct. It is a Ryo, but I want to ask you which format.
Ah, fuck. Um, Man, this car is so fucking good. So I'm going to think. I mean, it's obviously something that, or at the very least, this makes the most sense to be banned in Commander because of each opponent.
Take
Like,
your brownie points and enjoy it.
let's go.
It's legend. It's a legendary. The big thing is it's a legendary creature, so it can be your commander.
Oh shit!
Um,
Yeah,
Arayo is just an anti-fun card.
yeah.
It's similar to Upheaval in that it it basically shuts down a good chunk of the game. So suddenly, like none of your opponents can do anything except on their turn,
Mm-hmm.
and on their turn, they basically need to sacrifice one
Yeah,
spell
you're
each time.
you're forcing people to play around it when they might not have the resources to do so.
Yeah, you're forcing people to play around it, and the one of the bigger things is that like even if you do have the ability to kill it, you basically need two spells that you cast
Mm-hmm.
to try and kill it.
And then, but the person who has this is playing blue, so you have to try
Other person.
extra hard.
So yeah, if the person with Arayo has one counter spell, suddenly you need three cards to kill
Yeah.
it. And at that point, it's just ridiculous. You would need to run a couple of specific things, um,
You literally
like
put
like an abrupt decay or something.
like you flip a Ryo and you're basically challenging the rest of the table to outgrind you, and you're playing
Yeah,
blue, mono
and you're
blue,
playing mono blue. You're playing low cost spell mono blue.
which is
You are
disturbing. You're the worst person at the table.
and the thing is, this could be the commander. It doesn't even need to be the commander because there's enough things. If you play Baral, Chief of Compliance, Baral has an ability that
Mm-hmm.
reduces the cost of instants and sorceries by one generic. So suddenly, like even the fair counter spells like negate, which is counter a non-creature spell for 2 mana, or the one that's like counter a creature spell for 2 mana. Um,
Those
that
are
those
just
become one
regular.
mana counter spells,
Yeah.
and suddenly you have just very, very stupid, very anti-fun things.
Yeah.
So, congratulations. Take your point
Hell yeah.
and enjoy the gift shop on the way out.
You love to see
Now,
it.
I believe I have told you about both of these cards.
Yep, Baneslayer and Packrat. Yep, you have.
Baneslayer and Packrat.
All right, let's pull these both up and then I'll read them off. You've killed me with Packrat before, dude.
Have I?
Yeah,
Oh, yes, I
your
did. Because I
fucking
used to play
Pied Piper deck.
my Totentons deck. Yeah.
All right, so we have Baneslayer, 3 white white for a 5/5 angel, so that's already pretty good.
Mhm.
Flying first strike. What the fuck? Flying first strike, lifelink, protection from demons and from dragons. That's a lot for a fucking. That's a lot. That's a lot, a lot.
Mhm.
Jesus. And we have good old pack rat. 1 black. It's a rat. Who would have thought? Pack rats' power and toughness are each equal to the number of rats you control. 2 black. Discard a card. Put a token on the field that's a copy of pack rat. So it spawns more of itself.
Yes.
And you're already playing rats. So
Rats, rats.
we are the rats.
We're rats. We're the rats.
Okay, so well, I know pack rat is not banned in Commander, so I know that.
That is true.
Baneslayer though. I know how goofy angel stuff can be. And I'm meaning to build like a fucking angel deck because it just seems really fun. But Baneslayer. See, this is one of those things where it's like, is pack rat more abusable? Like turbo abusable compared to Baneslayer, who does a fuck ton. But did Baneslayer come in when saying protection from demons and from dragons effectively made her immortal to the point of being like just straight anti-fun for everybody that wasn't playing a white something deck that could get around her? But you know, pack rat, he can get strong real fast if you don't stop it, because like putting a token of itself, it still gets the fucking it's a token, so it gets all the effects. So could you spam out more rats?
You could spam out more rats from the token.
Yeah. So it's like, do is Baneslayer more powerful than the Horde? The Rat Horde.
Yes. I do believe these were in standard around the same time.
2020,
Uh
2012.
Baneslayer got reprinted.
Ah, gotcha.
Baneslayer I think was originally from ooh, let me look it up. Baneslayer was originally printed was printed in Magic 2011. So yes, they would have been in standard at the same time.
Gotcha.
Assuming of course that both were in standard and unbanned, but I'm leaving that as ambiguous.
Uh, when was um like Tarkir? Was that around 2011?
Park here was 2013 to 2014, I believe.
Gotcha. Okay. Because I was like, because it's being specifically dragons, I felt like I needed to ask.
Yeah, no, that's a good question.
But why demons then?
The reason why it's dragons and demons is one. This is a core set creature. Um,
Hmm.
each magic color has an iconic creature type and a what is it like representative creature type. The iconic is basically what they have at Mythic. If they can't figure anything else out, they make it this. The representative is
Mm.
basically the thing that they have in common.
I'm
White
going
has
to
angels as
assume
their iconic. Black has demons.
red
Red
is
has
dragons.
dragons.
That makes sense.
To complete the cycle, green has hydras.
Hmm.
And blue, depending on blue changes a bit more. They kind of have sea monsters as a overall thing.
Okay.
Occasionally they have blue is weird in that it doesn't really have a really good iconic. Um
Instance.
yeah,
Just the
it's
word instant. That's it.
yeah. Blue blue kind of has sphinxes. Sphinxes are kind of what it does. It
Hmm.
does unfortunately make it really weird in that everyone but green has flying iconic creatures, but
Mm.
it makes some amount of sense.
Gotcha.
Um, so yes, basically, whenever Baneslayer, if you're in standard and there is a playable red or black deck, which are
Hmm.
the enemy colors of white, that's where you're gonna probably see a big dragon or a big demon, and it
Gotcha.
will fly.
So Baneslayer is a good answer.
So Baneslayer is something that that it does that is a relevant line of text. It's not just
Gotcha.
a flavor. Now, granted, it's not always like the most relevant line of text. If you're playing against a low to the ground, basically
Yeah.
1 to 3 drop red deck wins deck, that doesn't
Hmm.
matter.
Yeah.
But other times it does.
So do I think Baneslayer is better than Rat Spam? Or at the very least, Rat Pack, the enabler of Rat Spam. Or an enabler of Rat Spam. So the thing is I don't know if I'm looking at Baneslayer the correct way. So I think in
Okay.
like she does so much. It's like you drop her and she's
Mhm.
like your boss.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm thinking of her incorrectly as a boss monster rather than just being like, oh, she's an angel in white. Angel good stuff, go burr. Yeah, she can be a boss monster if you try hard enough or have the setup for it.
He is effectively a generic boss monster.
Okay.
You can think of her like that rather than being specifically part of
Like,
an angel deck.
gotcha. Okay. I think I'm gonna say pack rat. I feel like I
There,
feel I think pack rat has more capability of abuse than
I feel
Bane
bad.
Slayer.
This was my second wild card.
Oh shit.
Neither,
Fair.
neither were banned. Now they were both meta cards in their respective standard formats.
Makes sense.
Baneslayer Angel. Baneslayer Angel was basically the top of the line white card that once it got down and it stuck, it was it would win you the game because
Gotcha.
remember you're at 20 life,
Yeah.
so
It's a 5/5
four
with first strike and lifelink and flying.
so not only does it stabilize you if it ever gets into combat, and if your opponent even attacks you the turn after it comes out, you're gaining 5 life even if
Mm-hmm.
it does end up dying. But if you can actually crack back with it, then suddenly you are
Yeah.
this is what is known as an A plus card on the what's it called on the um limited resources scale,
Mm-hmm.
because this is a card it's good if you are winning, losing, or at parity because it'll crack through defenses just by being a 5/5
Ah.
striker. It'll stabilize you if you're losing with massive life swings.
Mm,
Because if it connects once, that's a 10-point life swing.
yeah.
You're up 5, they're down 5.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, it doesn't have vigilance, so it can't both attack and block, but that would make it even more good. It doesn't trample, but it has flying, so you're likely getting through anyways.
Yeah.
It's just a solid card. Pack
Mm.
Rat, on the other hand, the thing about Pack Rat that makes it as good as it is not actually the fact that it cares about rats.
Is it
It's the fact that
discards?
part of it is the fact that it discards. More than that, Pack Rat was in the set right before Gray Merchant.
Oh shit!
Those copies
Oh
still add
no!
to your devotion to black.
My boy
So
Gary, let's go!
so Gary does just kill you with a bunch of rats. And like the thing is like you don't even need Gary as like a finisher. Gary is just Gary is honestly the Baneslayer of that deck. Where once
Yeah,
Gary comes
that
down,
makes sense.
it's like it's like a 6 to 10 point life swing fairly easily.
Yeah.
And then you just keep getting cards. It also played with Underworld Connections, where you just pay a life to draw a card,
Oh.
so you can keep getting cards into your hand.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I see.
and then you can discard, and for each rat, it's harder and harder to block.
Yeah,
Yeah, this was actually from an era where very few cards were banned in Standard.
gotcha.
All right, we're going with the next one, and we're sticking with the mono black theme
Ooh.
that Pack Rat brings with it.
Raven's Crime and Undercity Informer. Let me delete these two. All right, Raven's Crime. Uh, for a black sorcery, target player discards a card, so you could target yourself. Retrace. You replace this card from your grave by discarding a land in addition to paying its other costs. That there's a limit to that though, right?
You need to discard a land, but you can do it any number of times.
Huh.
So if you have 5 lands in hand and 5 black mana untapped, you can do it 5 times over and over again.
Huh. Okay. Undercity Informer, 2 and a black for a creature. He's a human rogue. 1, sack creature. Oh, fuck. Okay. Target player reveals cards from the top of his or her library until he or she reveals a land, then puts those cards into his or her grave. Oh, shit. That could do a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That could go fucking deep if someone's, like, unlucky.
Yes. Normally, with normal ratios, it'll probably get like 2 to 5 cards. So it'll basically it'll basically mill a magic missile worth of damage.
Mm.
Um but with you know I will point out to you, it does say target player. You can choose yourself.
Oh, just like Raven's Crime.
Yes.
Gotcha. I mean, if you're playing Undercity Informer, you're already caring a lot about the things you're sacking to begin with, because you could fucking, like, I don't know, what the fuck, what's it called? The reassembling skeleton, I think. Most
Yeah.
skeleton cards, to be honest, actually, but reassembling specifically, you could just keep going. Like, you don't tap them either. Like, if you have shit to sack, or at the very least, a creature that can infinitely revive itself, you could just keep going. Not, and then, like, you could do it to yourself. Load up your fucking grave. Fucking, you're playing mono black. The card that's like what foretold for, and you revive all creatures in your grave. Like, you're already playing black. That card's black. Mono black, go burr. Like, I can see how both of these could be used. but I'm leaning towards Undercity Informer being the better one.
Okay.
Mainly because I think he is just really, really fucking good. But the thing is with Raven's Crime, I don't know. So with Raven's Crime specifically,
Hmm.
as a Yu-Gi-Oh old head,
Yeah.
literally every kind of card that either enables you to force people to discard is banned, or
Okay.
the cards that do the discarding are banned, like Wind Up Carrier for enabling the Hunter Loop, Topological Gumblar for being Topological Gumblar, that shit. But things that, but for Magic though, I don't think that's such a big deal because, well, for one, this is a fucking black card. So even if you did it to yourself, like, you're probably putting something that you got in hand that you don't want in hand and you'd rather it in your grave anyways. Or like, but like Undercity Informer, like if you're playing black anything and you have them in your deck, you're probably giving a lot of fuck about loading up your own grave or forcing your opponent to load up their grave. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's actually both of them, to be quite honest, because I can kind of feel like I can think of ways to these can be abused. This one maybe not so much because you do need a land in hand, but if you are like playing something that gives a shit about lands being in your grave, like you said earlier, deserts care about being in grave.
Hmm.
So I can see that being abusable in like a black desert something deck, but I think Undercity Informer is more universally scumbaggery because you can target
So
yourself. So
so what is your final answer going to be
I'd say
informant?
yeah, I'd say Informer. Yeah.
Okay. You are correct.
Hey, let's go.
So you're gonna need to stick with me for a bit. There used to be a deck called Oops All Spells,
Okay.
which um abused specifically Balustrade Spy, which is basically Undercity Informer, but it's an enter the battlefield and it costs more.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it would do something like resurrect. This was in Modern, I
Mm-hmm.
believe. Undercity Informer. It is banned in Pioneer.
Gotcha.
I need to let me just uh yes, it was banned uh for being an overbearing and unfun combo deck.
Fair.
Let me just grab oops all spells. So you try to abuse mana generating effects like Desperate Ritual, Simian Spirit Guide, or even something like Goblin Charbelcher to just dump a ton of cards into the grave and then kill someone. Or um now they use lands. They use double faced cards, the ones that can specifically choose between being a spell or being a land.
Interesting.
So you can win the game with something like a Creeping Chill. Creeping Chill says when it's milled, You can
Oh,
exile it. If you do, it deals 3 damage to each opponent, and you gain 3. Narcomoeba, when it's milled, put onto the battlefield. Prized Amalgam. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, if it entered from your graveyard or you cast it from your graveyard, you can put Prized Amalgam onto the battlefield. And then the really brutal one was something like Thassa's Oracle, where you
mm,
mill most of your deck and then, or all of your deck, and then you say, I cast Thassa's Oracle. And then suddenly I instantly win the game because I have more devotion to blue than I do cards in my deck.
right.
And that is Thassa's Oracle, in my opinion, should probably be banned in more formats, but it is what it is. Um, I quite honestly, I don't like Thassa's Oracle as a card,
Fair.
but I think that it leads to degenerate games.
Yeah.
Mostly in Commander. Mostly in Commander is where it's an issue. Because a lot of people just combo it. That said, you got it right. Undercity
Let's
Informer,
go.
being able to build a deck where you can just mill your entire deck is what the issue is.
Yeah.
Being able to do that for yourself. So, here's the next ones.
Ooh. Oh, I've never seen that kind before. I've never seen a cost like that before, actually.
Mm,
I'm so used to
they
it
do it
being like,
every once in a while.
I'm used to it being like X and a colored,
Mhm.
or XX colored, or just XX.
Yeah, they've recently done. I think they did a new one of that very recently,
Interesting.
but it was a commander. It was in the commander set.
Gotcha. All right. Stroke of Genius. X, 2 blue. Target player draws X cards. It's an instant. Seems pretty aight. That's a lot of card draw, actually. Jesus. Tomorrow, Azami's Familiar. 5 and a blue. Legendary creature, a spirit. If you would draw a card, look at the top 3 cards of your library instead. Put one of those cards into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library. Jesus Christ. Okay. Okay, so how does tomorrow work with like something that lets me draw multiple cards at once? Do they trigger individually or
Each triggers individually.
okay, so if I draw 3, tomorrow triggers 3 times.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, that's real. Okay, that's kind of fucking hilarious actually. Okay. So does turning each card draw into I pick one out of the top 3, is that better than just straight up drawing like a shitload all at once?
It
Hmm.
depends
Yeah, that's
because certainly if you cast tomorrow for 6 versus if you cast Stroke of Genius for 6 lets you draw 3 cards. Tomorrow does nothing. Tomorrow's a 1/5 spirit. But
but
yeah,
hmm.
that's the thing is that if you're playing the long game, both get better the longer the game is, and
Yeah.
Stroke of Genius is an amazing card if you do have tomorrow.
Oh. Oh fuck, yeah, I didn't even think about the fact that these two interact like hilariously good with one another.
Yeah.
Wow, that's disgustingly good actually. Jesus. That'd be really funny if this is actually like the wild card because they're both degen with each other. That would be something you'd throw in like, oh, here's the 2 combo cards that got banned in the same format.
I'll give you a hint. These are not in the same format.
Okay.
So that so while definitely if they were in the same format at the same time, there could have been something there.
However,
Um,
they're
I
together
can
in
tell
eternal formats.
they are together in eternal formats.
So that's where I'm thinking. Hmm. What's this like fucking shuriken set icon from?
It's one of the Kamigawa blocks. I think
Okay.
it's like Champions.
I mean, I figured given the title Azami.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm. The previous statement still stands. This it would be very much like you to give me a D-Gen combo, a D-Gen 2-card combo as like a wild card because they're both banned because they interact with each other too well. But I think if I had to pick one, I think just because there's so much in blue that can make Azami really abusable. And it's like he's 5 and 1 blue. So you don't even need to
Hmm.
be mono blue to abuse the shit out of
Correct.
him. Like you just need 5 of mana and then the 1 blue. So it's like, if you're playing I don't know, like some Demir bullshit easy money, because you could have all those cards where it's like, in addition to casting this card, sack a creature, draw 2, that kind of shit. And it's like, well, let me dig for 6 and pick one. Or pick 2.
Well, you
Well,
you
dig for 3, then dig for 3 again.
you
But you know what I
dig
mean?
dig three, pick one, dig three, pick one. But yes, the funny thing is that tomorrow is actually really good with Azami, Lady of Scrolls, because Azami says you can just tap a wizard, draw a card.
I mean, I figured,
The combo super well.
yeah. God, I fucking hope they would have, to be honest. Like, that would have been really funny if
You
they
would
didn't.
you would be surprised
At how much that happens. That's sad, actually.
at how often something. I mean, I've talked to you about Kaya and how
Yeah.
for the longest time
Kill ghosts.
she couldn't actually destroy creatures, like any creatures. She could just
Just any creature.
exile
Jeez.
stuff. And a lot of the stuff that she did, she just exiled and brought it back afterwards. So it was like this it only kills tokens, which a lot of ghosts are tokens and a lot of tokens are
Hmm.
ghosts, but there are flavor fails within Magic. There's
Yeah.
one of my favorites is there's a card called Destroy All Hope or Extinguish All Hope.
Hmm.
Um and it says destroy all non-enchantment creatures. Um there's an enchantment creature from the exact same block called Hopeful Eidolon, which
Oh,
it can't
that
destroy.
is so. That's a massive flavor fail. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, I get what they were going for. I just feel like they could have used any different word.
I think if you called it like destroy all hope, I would have kind of assumed it would destroy enchantment creatures specifically
Uh,
because, like,
yeah, there was
gods.
there was an enchantment versus it was supposed to be the punishment of the gods towards the mortals.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
It it was the it was you got Erebos, Phoenix, and Farika
Hmm.
all pissed at you at the same time. So there's
Hmm.
not going to be there's not good stuff in your future.
Yeah, fair.
Highly.
Highly.
So, what you gonna
I
go with?
I'm gonna say. All right, all right. I remember you said you had 3 wild cards.
Hmm.
You were throwing at me. I'm gonna say this is one of them, and these are both banned because they're degen together.
I'm sorry to say,
Damn it.
tomorrow's bad.
Fair.
Tomorrow's too slow.
Yeah,
Tomorrow's a 6 drop
he's
for
a
a one
6 drop.
five.
Yeah, that's fair.
Now, tomorrow could be good in Commander. But like I was telling you before, good and commander is just kind of it's almost like an insult in disguise.
Yeah.
Stroke of genius.
Like I see
Would
why
you look
that
at
one is immediately.
what would you look at that? Stroke of genius is another card from Urza's block.
Oh well, fuck.
Yeah, no, it doesn't actually show on that image, but it was originally printed in Urza Saga.
Incredible.
Um, I'm not specifically avoiding like the ones that are like this is from Urza Saga. I'm just getting whichever one it gives to me.
Fair.
That said, we have your next bundle.
All right. Smuggler's
Smuggler's
Copter and
Copter and Extirpate.
Extirpate. That art goes hard. What the fuck?
It's all the split second arts from all the
Oh
old split
shit.
second cards have really good art.
I love Split Second. It is just peak degen. Like, you want to play?
Yes.
No. Kiss my ass.
It,
Counterspell.
it straight up it straight up just says nothing goes on the stack until I'm done. It's like someone saying like I have the talking stick.
Ooh, vehicle, my favorite.
Mhm.
Vehicles, my beloved. Alright, so Smuggler's Copter. 2, Artifact Vehicle. Flying. Whenever Smuggler's Copter attacks or blocks, you may draw. If you do, discard. Crew 1. Crew 1 for a 3/3? Damn. Okay. Extirpate. Black. Split Second. Split Second. I love this fucker. As long as the spell is on the stack, players can't cast spells or activate abilities that aren't mana abilities. It's so stupid. Choose target card in the grave other than a basic land. Search its owner's grave, hand, and library for all cards with the same name as that card. Exile them. Oh my god, it's chain destruction. That's amazing. What? It's more degen chain destruction. What the fuck? Oh my god. What the fuck? This is like a more degen to chain destruction. And that's like one of my favorite cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! I got so many copies of that card in so many different rarities.
Really?
Yeah, I love that is genuinely one of my favorite cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Cause
Fair
it
enough.
cause it was used in Battle City by Yugi to kill someone.
Was that the
Uh
monster cardo?
no. That was a different one. So Chain Destruction, it was one of the
Hmm.
first like duels in the Battle City arc, and Yugi used Chain Destruction to defeat someone who was using an Exodia deck by banishing all 3 copies of his Exodia head,
Mm,
so he couldn't insta win with Exodia.
gotcha.
So his whole deck just fell apart because his goal was to draw into Exodia. Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. So Extirpate is now one of my favorite cards by default. So
Fair enough.
okay, back to Magic. Back to Magic. Enough about
Yes.
me gushing about Yu-Gi-Oh. Hello, how are the games going? Oh, hello, Jujitsu Robot. Is that Jujitsu Robot? Is that what that name is?
Believe so.
Okay,
Yes.
sorry, it's all lowercase and I couldn't tell. Uh, yes, perfect. Thank you. So what we're not doing any games currently. We're playing a guessing game effectively with
Okay.
magic cards.
The good professor is somewhat new to Magic.
All good.
Yeah, the good professor is somewhat new to Magic. So me, who's been playing since Dark Ascension, I'm having him guess which cards are banned and which are not.
Fun little side game uh we wanted to do because this is genuinely actually pretty fun because like my experiences with multiple other card games that aren't Magic, pretty much. So kind of going through Magic history a little bit and learning more about cards, interactions, all fun stuff like that. Returning player to the game and you got one deck to your name. Yeah, I feel that.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Welcome back. One of the reasons why I started really getting into playing it was through Commander, thanks to Dean Arkon here pestering me multiple times.
I bullied.
Yeah, pretty much. It worked,
It was
and now I have make too many Commander decks, and that's what I do in my fun. That's what I do for fun now. So
yes.
thanks.
And then I also make commander decks, but I also make them in paper sometimes.
Yeah, I'm a little bit poor, so I just kind of do the for funsies.
That's why I only sometimes make them in paper.
Do I play online or IRL? I mostly play online.
I generally play IRL, but I do play online with Genki.
Yeah, I do play Arena occasionally on here. I've been wanting to do more Arena stuff on stream as well, because Arena's kind of fun. Also, it's just a easy way for me to be able to play standard games or standard like games. Can you suggest a deck I might like that doesn't take much brain power to use? You're speaking my language here, man. We like some Unga and a little bit of Bunga in this house. Okay, so okay. Copter or Extirpate though? I mean, Extirpate split second, so I kind of assume it's just good. Yes, we do have a Discord. As long as hopefully Nightbot is not dead. It might be dead. I think Nightbot's dead actually. Jesus. Let me throw a link your way.
I mean, there's the class Discord.
Yeah.
Oh, I got timed out for posting a link.
Hold on. That's hilarious.
If you scroll down, it's in the about section.
Damn, Streamlabs is up. Sorry about that.
No worries. That's on me.
Hold on. Well, since it's actually up. There we go. There we go. Thank you for checking to see if Streamlabs was up.
I lead others to a treasure I cannot know.
Thank you, Moses.
Oh, I'm not timed out anymore. Welcome to the class.
Perfect.
Oh, hey, someone new just joined the Discord.
Oh, hey.
Wonder who that is. Anyways.
All right.
Are you guessing Extirpate or are you guessing Smuggler's Copter?
So I kind of assume it's not Smuggler's Copter just because I know vehicles are just kind of dookie, even though I love them. But with Crew 1, that just seems really good. And, you know, we've draw one, discard a card. That's looting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like you can loot.
Draw then discard is loot. Discard then draw is rummage. If you want to be exact and use the magic term. We need to do a magic dictionary stream.
Ooh, that could be fun. Get learned today. So since it says attacks or blocks, so you can get some use out of it.
Yeah, this can work on your turn or your opponent's turn.
Which seems good.
I mean, technically, so can Extirpate, because Extirpate's an instant, but...
Yeah.
Thank you for pressing button, Jujutsu Robot. Oh, and as for what channel, I would say
Probably the
what's
trading
that?
cards. Also, thank you for the follow. Very much appreciated. There's like trading cards in the class discussion. Hey, there you go. Appreciated.
My father has
Oh,
dropped off gaming glasses.
ooh, we got an arena deck.
Hmm.
All right, what we
Let's
got?
see. Let's see if I can judge this. Well, I can judge it, but probably not correctly. Fair enough.
Black, red, white. Interesting.
Ooh,
I, f-
Mardu.
I fuck with some Mardu.
I remember when so it used to be that there were a bunch of people who like rate every set.
Mm-hmm.
Um and so one of the things that they would rate was like different things like flavor of a set.
Mm-hmm.
Um one of when Cons of Tarkir came out, people rated the set based on because everyone knew that Mardu, Jeskai, Sultai Temur,
Mm-hmm.
um, Abzan were going to be the names for three color decks.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was like seeing like, hey, how do these names feel? Like how do these feel as names being things that we know are going to be called this forever from now on? And it was like, oh, all of them. What the hell, Streamlabs?
What?
Tweets are too short. Jujutsu Room had a
What?
deleted message
What the
from.
fuck, Streamlabs? Sorry about that.
I've got no clue what the deal is there.
I have no clue either.
If it's not if it's a link, if it's too long,
Whatever the fuck that means.
if you want to, you can send it in the camp in like the quad on the Discord.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
I got no clue what the deal is with that.
Huh? How long was the message? Like, well,
What
if it
about
said
long?
longer than a tweet, then if it was over 500 characters, on what patch though? All right, all right, what we got in this deck though? Hold on.
Looks like a good reanimator deck.
Yeah. What does Can't Stay Away do?
Can't stay away.
I do
Let me
not
look for
recognize
it.
that card actually.
Can't stay away. White black. Return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Mm,
It gains if this creature would die, exile it instead, and it has flashback of 3 white black.
gotcha. Cool. I do like we got some Rakdos, Combustible Gear Hulk, and Forge Fire though.
Yeah.
Yo, that fucking mountain art go hard though. Jesus.
Yeah. There's a lot of good mountain arts.
Yeah.
Thank you for sending the deck in.
Yeah. I do like it quite a bit.
All right.
All
Should we
right.
get back to
Yeah. I'm gonna say extirpate because this seems like it would be a bastard of a thing to use on somebody in like any format that has multiples.
all right.
I think
Well,
Copter is good, but I don't think it's as good as extirpate.
here's the thing.
Oh fuck.
It's Copter.
Fuck.
As it turns out, a 2 mana 3/3 flyer that loots is
Yeah.
actually just too good.
Yeah, it does a lot.
Extirpate. So the thing is, there's a difference in Magic between what we would see as floodgate cards and what we would see as well, what you guys call floodgates, we would call prison cards,
Mm-hmm.
and so what we have as floodgates are generally seen pretty positively.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, it's seen that when a format has issues, it doesn't have good enough answers. Not that it
Mm-hmm.
has too many good answers. What Extirpate does is that it basically removes it basically removes up to 3 cards from a game.
Yeah.
So maybe a player is playing some degenerate combo deck and they put one of their combo pieces in the graveyard. You can have extirpate in your sideboard so that turn 2, so that turn 1 you say extirpate that, get rid of it, and your combo deck is a lot harder to win with now. Or if they have something like
Yeah.
they cast lightning bolt at you, you extirpate the lightning bolt. They don't have lightning bolts. Granted,
Mm-hmm.
of course, with a burn player, they might still have other stuff, but you know.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Uh, Thank you for the suggestion. We probably aren't doing that tonight, just
Yeah.
because I think we're getting closer to the end.
Mm-hmm.
I have I can either have 2 or I can have 3 more left, including this upcoming one. I can have more obviously, but I've only prepared so many.
Yeah, I was planning on winding things down once we
Mhm.
tallied up the score.
Here
Oh,
is
oh my
the
fucking
next
god,
issue.
Hogak. Okay.
The GAC.
I feel like I remember seeing this card get banned though. Hogak. I feel like I've seen that just because it was so
Look at
degen.
Temporal Mastery
But
and
Temporal
tell me if you think
Mastery.
this is a wild card then.
Jesus Christ. Take an extra shot at this one. Exile. Miracle. What the fuck?
Yeah, Miracle's an issue. It's a really fun issue, but it's an issue.
Did they like make an attempt at trying to balance the shit like that if you open with it you can put it on the field? Like is that what this is supposed to be or
Oh no, this is it's specifically something where like at it's been a long game, you're about to lose, and then you look at the top card of your deck and it's exactly the card you need to win. It is a miracle.
ah the
It's supposed to basically play off of the idea of like top decking a win card, but
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a card in Yu-Gi-Oh that was kind of hilariously bad, but also like Omega Degen, where if you drew it for turn,
Mm.
you could play it for you basically play it where to play it with mass upsides, or it wasn't like it was like straight up not playable if you didn't like draw it specifically for turn.
Oh, interesting.
But
Interesting.
it was one of the rank up spell cards. I cannot remember which one, but it was one of them that was like it was so funny that it became like degen, but it
Oh,
didn't see any like real play.
fair enough.
But when people made it work, it made it work. There's like like a decently popular video of a dude like doing like a bunch of anime shit because they were just hamming it the fuck up because they knew exactly what they were playing, and he
Mhm.
drew it after doing his anime like hamming it up thing, and he won the game because of it. Literal
I mean,
heart of the cards.
I think that he won the game because of doing the funny thing,
Yeah,
even beyond. Yeah.
exactly. So, to full mastery, that's just degen. Jesus Christ. Hogak though.
Yeah.
Hogak. Convoke End Elf is just so
Yeah.
funny to me.
Convelve, as it's
Convelve.
called. Convelve.
Like, it's so dumb. Can't spend mana to cast it. You may cast it from grave. It's an 8/8 with trample that has Convoke and Delve. And it can be your commander. Temporal Mastery, though. I feel like it was like funny for a bit until like a standard deck like absolutely like shredded this card and all other miracle cards into like ribbons because of how fast they got banned. Like it kind of feels how something would happen. The problem is I don't know if my memory is correct about Hogak. It's probably not. However, I could see why Hogak would be banned. I could see why Temporal Mastery would be banned. Because Hogak just... I feel like he enables like really weird degen shit that is like very hard to play against.
Fair.
But Temporal Mastery, it's just because it says Miracle, I feel like it's abused. Or has the chance to be abused.
So,
all right.
Which one are you going with?
All right. Since we're nearing the final couple, I'm going to say this is the wild card. I'm going to say these are both banned.
I'm so sorry.
Fuck.
It's the GAC.
Yeah, fuck.
See
my memory was correct. Damn it.
The card that enabled Temporal Mastery to be degen was banned. It was Sensei's Divining Top.
Oh,
it's a 1-mana card.
I know what that does. Don't worry.
Top 3, put them in any order. Yeah, but the thing is, this was not bad in standard. I mean, it affected standard. It definitely affected standard quite a bit, but it was not bad in standard.
Gotcha.
Hogak basically immediately became like a tier 1 deck with other stuff from Modern Horizons.
Jesus.
So he was an issue very fast. Temporal Mastery was an issue in Eternal formats.
Gotcha.
Like there was an entire deck just called Miracles that was all about that.
Gotcha.
So
I was very I fucking literally when you showed me Hogak, I'm like, I think I remember this card being banned.
I've got two more for you.
Okay.
2 more sets for you, and I will tell you, one of these is going to be the wild card.
All right. Oh, Protean Hulk, nice. I know that card. All right, Flash. 1 and a blue for an instant. You may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. If you do, sack it unless you pay its mana cost reduced by up to 2. Okay. So basically, it's called Flash, so you give something Flash. Okay, I get it.
You give something Flash, and then you need to pay its cost. And if you don't, you need to sacrifice it immediately.
Would an ET be triggered though?
Yeah.
Okay. Protean Hulk, 5 green creature beast. When Protean Hulk dies, search your library for any number of creatures cards with total mana value 6 or less. Put them on the field to shuffle. Good lord. I
Yeah,
mean, so that means you can just kill Protean Hulk
yeah.
yourself. I mean,
So the moment Protean
it's
Hulk dies,
it's. Oh wow, that's
he,
really funny together actually. Because if he dies from Flash's effect, does his search go off?
he still died. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. Problem is one of these banned or they just degen together? Or are they even degen together at all? And it just so happens that these cards are together because you put them that way.
Would you like a hint?
Sure.
At least one of them is banned.
Well, no
It's not a.
shit, fam.
It's not. It's not a thing of, oh, they're both secretly shit.
Like I remember Protean Hulk being just universally good. I know him. I know him. He good. I know he's good. Flash, I don't think I've ever heard of. But are they degen? Like, or is like just this just so happens to be like a randomly degen combo you put together? But if that's the case, is Protean Hulk the problem, or is Flash enabling Protean Hulk the problem? If these are meant to be together for a specific combo. All right, I'm gonna say I think I'm gonna go with the because I'm sure there's a shitload of other ways, but like he's a fat boy, so you would need to like play like something that specifically sacks him, but you're literally paying so much less with this card specifically to shit him out.
Yeah.
So I would say oh, fuck, it's probably both. Or it is probably is just Hulk, but I'm going to say Flash.
Are you gonna say? So you're gonna say Flash, or you're gonna say both?
I'm gonna say Flash. It's
Okay.
probably both.
You can still change if you want.
No, I've already said like it's both of them like multiple times at this point, so I'm just gonna stick with
So
Flash.
yes, Protean Hulk is the reason why Flash got banned. Flash is also the reason why Protean Hulk got banned.
Fuck! I
Yeah,
knew
so
it.
as it turns out, spending 2 mana and 2 cards to get creatures with total mana value 6 or less onto the battlefield. Yeah, these two cards showed up to the duel at high noon and pulled out nuke launchers and just said, "Well met," and still fired anyways. They absolutely are the reason why the other is banned. If one, well, Protean Hulk is an issue in that you can cheat Protean Hulk out fairly easily
Yeah.
and kill it fairly easily. But Protean Hulk is fine if you don't have Flash. Protean Hulk is manageable if you don't have Flash, but it's still problematic.
Mm-hmm.
Flash, on the other hand, Flash enables a lot of degenerate stuff. It was kind of always one of those things where this is eventually going to get banned. We just didn't know when, and Protean Hulk is the thing that did it. Right now, if Flash got unbanned, you could, I mean, you could probably combo it with a bunch of stuff and get it banned again, even if Protean
Yeah.
Hulk was erased from existence. The thing is that they're both degenerate on their own, but combined,
They're ban worthy.
combined they both need to be banned.
Damn it.
So
I was
this
so close
is
to saying both too. Damn it.
this is the last set of two. Only one of these is banned.
Fuck. What am I at now? Like
I'm gonna go back and tally it up.
I think I'm like what 6 to 19? No, not 6 to 9, 6 to 13 or some shit.
Let me scroll back up and
I
count up.
have not been well this. All right.
So
Second sunrise, one white white, instant. Each player returns to play all artifact, creature, enchantments, and lands that are put into his or her grave from play this turn. And then we have Dream Salvage, which is a blue or black. Draw cards equal to the number of cards target opponent discarded this turn. Jesus Christ, that's awful. That's so easy to get off. Jesus Christ, dude. You're playing blue and black. Of course, that's going to be easy. Jesus.
I have you at 7 correct guesses out of the
Gotcha.
total.
So,
I don't think we did a full 20, but
gotcha. 7 to 12.
let's just say like let's just round to 7 to 12, sure.
Um, hmm. I mean, this feels like a you broke my board, kiss my ass type thing.
Fair enough. This is probably along with the previous one. No, this is probably along with extirpate versus what did I put with extirpate? Extirpate versus smuggler's copter. This is probably the
Mm,
most difficult one.
gotcha. Because they both do so wildly different things. They're different colors. They kind
They
of
they
care about different things, like
they bo-
entirely.
they both, if you make the deck around them, they both do an amazing amount of stuff on
Yeah,
anyone's turn. But at the same time, you need to basically make your deck around these.
yeah, understandable. Because this makes ETBs, right? Happen?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Makes ETBs. Um Obviously if like you had a base, yeah, if you got your basics destroyed, you could
Mm,
bring your basics back and you'd have mana again.
gotcha. Huh. Let's see. So, second sunrise seems just kind of good, but I don't know if bannable good. Unless the situation around this card, where this card was the key enabler of I'm going to get rid of every single thing I own and then bring it back untapped, refreshed, ready to kick your ass a little bit more. But this just feels like a part of a mass degen deck. Dream Salvage. It just feels like it's like a key piece to just pissing your opponent off.
I guess here's the question. Do you think it's easier to do a mass discard deck, or do you think it's easier to abuse, well, things that died this turn? That includes sacrifice, that includes counter wrath, any of that stuff. Which do you think would be easier to pull off?
Hmm. I think. I mean, the problem is I know like how easy both of those would be to make is the big thing. But I don't. But I think. Hmm. I'm going to say So my gut says Dream Salvage. My head says Second Sunrise. I think I'm gonna lean in with Second Sunrise. I think I'm gonna say Second Sunrise. Lock it in.
Second sunrise.
Second Sunrise.
Okay. 8.
Let's
Correct.
Hey, let's go. Got the last one.
So
Let's go.
I forgot one of them. If you got, did you guess Voltaic or Dragon's Claw?
I guessed Dragon's Claw for that one.
Okay. So you got all in all, you got Expropriate, Fluctuator, Violent Outburst, Ancestral Vision, Ramanop Ruins. You guessed that you guessed correctly that it was banned. You didn't get correctly that both were banned, but
Mm-hmm.
you did get it correctly. Upheaval, Arayo, Undercity Informer, Stroke of Genius. I believe you also got that one. Um, and Second Sunrise, if I'm not mistaken. Removing the Ramanop Ruins, that should be 8.
Let's go.
So the thing about Second Sunrise, so Dream Salvage. Dream Salvage is very good, specifically in the deck that I used to play, Waste Not,
Mm-hmm.
because you basically want to wheel a ton, and you because you're making everyone wheel, most wheel effects are symmetrical. Wheel
Mm-hmm.
means, for those who are watching at home, throw your hand in the graveyard, draw a new clutch of cards, depends on what the effect is, but that kind of thing. Usually they're symmetrical. So if you cast Reforge the Soul and your opponent discards 4 cards and draws 7, you can then cast Dream Salvage
Mm-hmm.
and draw 4 cards after you've also drawn 7. Um, it makes for really big haymaker plays. It's kind of a win more card in that deck, but it
Gotcha.
definitely does its job. Second Sunrise, however, this is part of a. It's generally. This is part of a deck called Eggs. Um, Now, why exactly it's called Eggs is memed upon. A lot of Magic decks in the past have been named after breakfast foods. Um, so there's Fruity Pebbles. That's an actual Magic deck. There's what is it? I think there's something called Cheerios. That's just a bunch of zero mana artifacts. O's. There's one called Full English Breakfast. That's a meme based on that tendency. And there's eggs, because you crack them for an effect.
Gotcha.
Um, there's also, unrelated to the breakfast naming, there is actually a deck called Countertop that uses Counterbalance and Sensei's Divining Top. Um, there's a number of. I feel like I'm forgetting some, but there's a number of others that Magic players name decks very interesting things. That's how you get names like Scam as like this massive boogeyman because it's so good it's a scam.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing. Um, it's a weird tendency. But yeah, this is from Eggs, which is the worst kind of combo deck, a non-deterministic combo deck. Now, most combo decks in Magic, you can perform the loop exactly once, show how it is a loop, and then do it infinite times,
Mm-hmm.
and then everything ends. Eggs is bad in that at any given point, eggs can just stop. So you need to go through each individual step. You can't shortcut anything
Mm-hmm.
other than saying, like, crack this, grab this, blah, blah, blah. Basically doing the stuff that is very fast. Um, but there was a YouTube video by Loading Ready Run about one of the people who did ridiculous over the top combo decks playing an eggs deck, and at the start of the episode he starts his turn and at the end of the episode uh at the start of the episode he begins his turn and he starts doing stuff, and so the two people who are watching, or one person who's playing the game, one person who's watching the game, they stand up and they go to the coffee shop waiting for his turn to finish, and at the end of the episode they return and the guy is still taking his turn and says, and oh, I I don't have anything. You win. To the guy who hadn't been there for like a 13-minute episode. Yeah. So
That's amazing.
the while it did make a combo deck that was somewhat degenerate, the biggest issue is that it is a combo deck that could end up just not 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 finishing.
Mm.
It takes like 20 minutes of game time for it to not win.
Oh,
And no one's happy about that. No one like it's like Mystic Mine, but if Mystic Mine was only a lock when you rolled like a one on a, or
yeah.
a 2 through 6 on a d6, and so every time you need to keep rolling that die, and every once in a while you'll just roll a one and be like, oh, I lose.
Oh God.
But those are the banned cards. I mean, there's obviously more.
Yeah.
A couple I didn't show were like really really weird really weird stuff like Soul Ring, for example. I think that you can kind of get why Soul Ring might be banned, or
Yeah.
any of the cards that are like take the initiative.
Hmm.
There's a couple of cards that say like take the initiative, and they're basically just banned because they are the initiative is kind of a broken mechanic in a certain format.
Hmm.
Um or something like something that is just a stupid infinite combo that you wouldn't know about unless you knew a lot of cards.
Gotcha.
Like, I I don't think it's fair for me to say like, ah, yes, you should have known that Lingering Souls was banned in this one exact format for a few months, or Metalworker can go infinite, or Grindstone, for example.
Gotcha.
Um, Now, I almost put Painter Servant Grindstone instead of what's it called? What's the name of the card? Flash Hulk.
Hmm.
Yeah, Soul Ring is broken. Soul Ring is a broken card. Soul
Yeah.
Ring, in my opinion, should be banned in Commander.
Yes.
Um, but there's that. There's also things like weird stuff that would never be banned nowadays, like crop rotation. Crop rotation is generally fine. It needs to
Okay.
cost one more mana, but it's generally fine. Or something that's really really obvious like Treasure Cruise or Divide by Zero
Hmm.
or Emrakul, either of them.
Yeah.
There's other things
Emra.
like I think Felidar Guardian. That one is one of the ones that's like it's just, oh, if you type in Scryfall at the top,
Ah, this is the one I was banning, Commander.
yeah, if you type it in at the top of Scryfall,
Yeah.
is colon spiky. This is all of the cards that have ever been banned or restricted.
Oh, that's a lot.
Well, to be fair, a good number of them are anti cards or conspiracy cards,
Mm,
because every conspiracy is technically banned in every format that isn't conspiracy,
gotcha.
because they just don't work outside of conspiracy. And also, a lot of cards uh, arena only cards.
Oh, this
Granted,
one literally says you take the initiative.
yeah. Granted, there are 435 cards that have ever been banned or restricted.
Why is this dude banned or was banned?
He's a legend from Legends.
Ah,
Yeah. If you see any legends from Legends or like Homelands or Ali from Cairo,
mm-hmm.
that's because they used to be restricted.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I hope
Gotcha.
that it was fun.
Oh, for sure. That's the one I was thinking of. Ancestral Recall.
Yes,
When with
that's
Ancestral
that's part of the
Vision.
Power Nine.
Yeah. Wait, why is Ancestral Recall like still getting new art? What the fuck?
Oh, that's from Vintage Masters.
Ah,
It was only a Magic Online thing.
gotcha. Wait, why was this? It's a fucking artifact land. Why was this banned?
Uh, because it was from the Affinity days, and it made Affinity way too good. It
Ah,
made it so everyone just played Affinity decks.
gotcha.
All of the original Mirrodin artifact lands got banned in Standard, and I also think Modern.
Gotcha. Target player gets you a drink.
Yeah, that those are from
I see the
those
cracked
are
egg.
from yeah, those are from what's it called? The silver bordered cards are also banned in certain formats.
Second artifact, ATOG gets +2/+2.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm not surprised seeing this Teferi on here, to be honest.
Yeah, but that's where I pulled all of my ones that got banned
Gotcha.
from.
Oh, geez, that seems fucking awful.
Which one?
Back to basics.
Oh yes, that's bad. Balance is another one of the ones from the Ancestral Visions cycle.
Mmm.
It was originally Ancestral Recall, Living Death, Balance, uh Hypergenesis, or Eureka, and Wheel of Fortune. And those
Mm-hmm.
got turned into Ancestral Ancestral Visions, Living End, Restore Balance, Wheel of Fate, and Hypergenesis.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the name Eureka I was not a fan of,
Oh,
so I
yeah.
remember it as Hypergenesis.
Good old, good old Bazaar.
Oh yeah, Bazaar of Baghdad, just break the game. Blazing Shoal is actually I say more recent ban. It was banned when I was playing,
Mm-hmm.
so
Why was Bitter Blossom banned?
Bitter Blossom started banned in Modern.
Gotcha.
When Modern was a format that was first created, Bitter Blossom started out banned.
Gotcha.
Now, as for the reason why, I think that for a while, Black White Tokens was a very good Modern deck,
Oh,
or at
Blood
least
Moon.
it was, yeah, Blood Moon. Or at least it was good enough to be something you worry about. So,
Why was this banned?
which one?
Oh, and Pauper.
Oh, it's banned in Pauper because it basically forces everyone to run it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Pauper has a lot of weird things of like bunch of artifacts that are a bunch of artifacts that draw you cards are banned. If you
Mm,
use that as your search criteria, it'll give you slightly better,
gotcha.
slightly easier time navigating the searches.
What? I've never seen this card before.
Yeah, that's because it's an anti card.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize it said that till I
Yeah.
looked at the updated text.
Yep.
Gotcha. Oh, I was to the fucking back of the fucking thing. Oh, hey,
Yep.
Zer.
Yeah, Zer. The Enchanter. I don't know why he was banned.
Hmm.
I think just because he's very good,
Yeah,
but I don't believe he is banned anymore.
he's actually one of the cards I have listed in my my to make folder for
Mm-hmm.
commander decks.
Fair enough.
Oh yeah, this Ugin is just good. Umezawa. Hey, nice.
Oh yeah, the GT.
Classic.
Underworld Breach is insane.
What does this do? That's each non-land in your grave has. Oh my god. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I could see why it's banned in like Legacy.
Mm-hmm. It it just is very good.
Yeah. Drago. Why is it called Drago?
I don't know. A lot of the legends are just from the people's D&D characters.
Gotcha. Fucking Urborg over here. Goddamn. That's kind of funny how they just kind of put their D&D characters in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Vault of Whispers isn't a spell. The fuck you mean by that?
It's not a spell. It's an, well, because it's an artifact. Artifacts are spells, but if they're lands, they aren't. So
Oh,
you can't counter Vault of Whispers, for example.
gotcha. I didn't realize that was an interaction.
Yep.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, well, vampiric tutors, vampiric fucking tutors, of course.
As is Imperial Seal, which is just Vampiric Tutor, but a different name. So you
Yep.
can run 2 of them or 8 of them.
Yep. Vile Smasher the Fierce.
Yeah, I think that Vile Smasher was banned in some variant of Commander.
Gotcha. What is this?
What is what?
Valakut the Molten Pinnacle.
Oh, Valakut. So Valakut was originally part of a big deck called Scapeshift,
Uh-huh.
where basically you would get a bunch of lands onto the battlefield, and then you would cast Scapeshift, and then you would have Valakut enter first
Mm-hmm.
normally. And then all of your mountains would deal like 3. You basically lightning bolt someone for each land that entered the battlefield past a certain point,
Mm-hmm.
and you could just blow someone up.
Oh,
It
hey,
was part
Caso.
of a big deck, yeah. But I think that that's probably where we should call it for the night.
For sure.
'Cause it is 10 post meridian.
Before I get deep into the what's this card banned for? What's this card banned for? Because this shit's fascinating to me. I love
Yep,
I love a good card game history lesson, to be honest.
I'm happy to provide.
Oh, let me swap one over. All right. Well, I hope everyone has a good night. I'd like to thank the dean once again for holding this lecture and helping me learn more about magic and its history.
Of course, happy to help. Hope you all have a
And
good night.
hope you all have a good night. Take care. Bye bye.
Goodbye.